I'm going to show you a strategy known as the spider web. Here's how it works. If you notice your opponent's king is in the corner, you can often trap the king by positioning your pieces in the right spot. For example, let's say that you are the white team and you go down and call check. The only move black has to get out of check, since he can't move forward because of the pawn, he has to interpose with his bishop. And now, the spider web is complete. The bishop locks down the enemy's castle, and double attacking the bishop will result in a fatal checkmate. The black king has no way to escape, and checkmate will soon follow. This is an important strategy because in the game you're about to see, that's exactly the way Luke is able to defeat Grandmaster Dmitry Gurevich. Alright, so Luke makes his first move, pawn to e4, which is an excellent move in regards to controlling the center of the board. The Grandmaster, Dmitry Gurevich, plays pawn to c5. Luke is of course playing the white pieces, and Grandmaster Dmitry Gurevich is playing the black pieces. Knight to f3, developing a piece towards the center, controlling some key squares. Knight's protecting e5 and also d4. And the Grandmaster plays the very common d6, very solid move. Pawn d4, exchange of pawns. Knight captures back. Knight to f6. Luke brings out his knight to defend the pawn that's being attacked by the knight. The knight comes out and challenges the knight. And bishop to e2. The queen is already protecting the knight, so nothing else needs to happen. If the knight were to take the knight, the queen could simply recapture on the following turn. Now this is an interesting move. It shows that the Grandmaster is intending to castle on the king side of the board. A move like bishop here, and then eventually castles on the king side. Now, because you do typically castle in this opening called Sicilian, I think it's fairly clear that what both players' plans are here. Luke castles, Grandmaster castles, and we enter into the middle game phase of our chess match. Now here's the part that really decides who's going to win, draw, or lose. The middle game is the most fascinating part of any chess game. Pawn f4. There we go. The white player is looking to attack with the move f5. This move would actually be able to begin a very strong kingside attack, which was very useful later on down the road. The Grandmaster being very cautious of giving white any chances of attacking, goes ahead and plays pawn to b5, trying to create some attacking chances of his own. This way he'll be able to do some attacking on the queen side over here. Luke brings out his bishop, a nicer spot for it, maybe looking to someday control along this diagonal all the way through. And the Grandmaster plays bishop to d7, protecting the knight, and also clearing the c8 square for a rook to someday come over and plant himself there, maybe with the idea of one day having a rook control the c file. At any rate, Luke develops his queen to a more active post, and the Grandmaster does indeed grab control of the c file here. Luke wants to get his rook into the game, so rook a to d1, a natural move to play. Bishop to e6. And here the attack begins. We've got pawn to e5, a very complex move with lots of different variations to consider. But let me help you break it down a little bit for you. If the pawn takes the pawn, then we have a queen trade possibly taking place. Perhaps the queen would swap off for the queen. You've got the knight over here that is under attack suddenly. You've got the bishop's range with the bishop's help, the two bishops together with a nice attack on the queen side. You have all kinds of different scenarios that could take place from this move. The Grandmaster in this particular position decides that he would like to exchange off the pawns and see what Luke has up his sleeve. And here's what happens. Luke captures the Grandmaster's queen, queen captures queen, and the Grandmaster gobbles up the queen with his kingside rook. F rook takes on d8. That's when Luke snaps off the bishop, a very complicated and tactical position. And the Grandmaster counters by snapping off the rook on d1. A very exciting match, both sides trying to be the aggressor. Here Luke captures the Grandmaster's rook, and the pawn captures the bishop, which humorously I noticed that both bishops, Luke's white bishop and his white bishop on e3 and his white bishop on c6, are both attacked, and neither of them are guarded. So the rook is threatening to capture this one as well as this one. Which one does Luke want to keep? Well, looks like he wants to try to move this one and reposition that at the moment, attacking the rook. So the pawn's not going to take here, since capturing this would only gain the black team 3 points, and then he would lose a greater value down here. The Grandmaster slides the rook over, protecting that rook, and then this bishop captures here, attacking the rook. The rook gobbles up the bishop, and it's hard to spot that spider web trap, but I want you to look carefully. The king is in a position on the back row, and we've got a bishop, and we've got a rook. I want you to see it unfold like we saw in the beginning. Let's watch carefully. White very cautiously advances the knight forward to attack the rook, and the black player must play very carefully here. Remember, attacking is very successful in defeating an opponent. In chess, only the attacker wins, so it's important to try to keep an attack going, whether you're attacking a pawn or you're attacking your opponent's rook or bishop, but keep attacking. That tends to be a very successful way to defeat strong players. The Grandmaster moves the rook over to get it out of danger. There wasn't much else that was better, maybe moving the rook back, but then again, the bishop could simply capture it. Also moving the rook over might lead to the white knight capturing the rook. At any rate, the rook slides over, and here it comes. The spiderweb trap. Pow! Check! There's no good move here for the black team. He could throw a knight into block, but it would just get gobbled up by the rook. He could throw in his bishop to block, but that's also going to lead to checkmate. Let's see how the game would have resulted. We've got maybe he would have thrown his knight back to block. That would have been gobbled up. And if he would have put the bishop into block, the bishop simply comes in like so. And this is indeed what happened in the chess game. The rook and the bishop setting up the legendary spiderweb trap. The king is completely cornered, literally, and has no escape. He can't advance his pawn, since it would result in checkmate by the rook taking the bishop, protected by the white bishop, and the spiderweb trap has proved to be a fatal strategy in this particular scenario. In the game, Grandmaster Dmitry Gurevich resigned here, realizing that he had lost his position, and Luke went on to win his $575 grand prize for the competition, since there was no real way to stop the checkmate anyhow. And what an exciting game between two chess champions, and what an exciting match for both players to see, and what an excellent strategy it is to see the spiderweb trap in actual play between two top chess players in our match. Thanks for watching so much, and hope you enjoyed our video.